Okay, so we're on our second problem. So on here, we're going to start with writing our grammars. So it will be given, unknown. Now keep in mind that molar mass for this one will be two of them because your given is grams and your unknown is also grams. So you would have two answers for molar mass. And then, of course, you will have your mole ratio. Your mole ratio is basically a number, and then it's U over G. Okay? So now with their given, you're given, let's go ahead and start reading it. Calculate the mass of nitrogen. So the mass of nitrogen, that's what they're trying to find out. So that will be your unknown. So mass of nitrogen, if you look at your equation, it will be N2. Okay, so that's the one. We're trying to find the grams of this. So it would be grams of N2. Okay, and then required to make 56.0 grams of nitrogen oxide. So nitrogen oxide is right here, and that is your given because that's the number that they give you. So that would be 56.0 grams of NO2. Okay, now we're ready for our molar mass. So again, both of them have grams, so you have to get the molar mass of each one. So the grams of NO2 equals, so now we need our periodic table. Our periodic table shows that nitrogen is 14.007. So it will be, and it's only one, so it would be 14.007 plus, and then oxygen, there's two of them. So each of them, that's what I have to multiply, is 15.999 for oxygen. So 2 times 15.999. Okay, so we put in the calculator, it will be 14.007 plus 2 times 15.999, close it up with a parenthesis, so that will be 46.005 grams of NO2. Okay, now let's do the next one, the grams of nitrogen. Now nitrogen has two of them, so but it's only one element. So it would be 2 times, and the nitrogen is 14.007. Okay, so it would be 14.007 times 2, 28.014 grams of N2. Okay, you see how it's at 2, that's two of them, and each nitrogen is 14.007. You multiply those two and you get 28.014. Okay, and now let's do our mole ratio. Our mole ratio, keep in mind that it's always going to be mole over mole. The unknown is N2. The given is NO2. So now we need the number. So we need to look at the equation. The coefficient is a big number. So N2, you see how there's no number in the front, the big number? That means there's a 1. It should be 1 because it's there. So obviously there's only 1 and 2. So it'd be 1. And then the given is NO2, so that's 2. You see the big number? It's a 2. And then we're ready for our setups. Okay, so if we look at the setup, okay, we start with our always given number, which is 56.0 grams of NO2. Okay, there's nothing at the bottom, or you could just put 1. Okay, so we're done with our given. Now, since this is grams of NO2, you see how this is grams of NO2? Okay, and you could always check, like this is grams of given, right? Because that's your grams and that's given. And then here on the bottom, it says molar mass of the given, which is NO2. So NO2, the grams, and that would be 46.005 grams of NO2. So you see how these two are the same? It has to be the same. always. Okay, that's how you can tell which number to put in here. Okay, so we already done with this one, and we're already done with our given. Okay, that equals always to 1 mole. That's why you have 1 mole on the top, because it's whatever is equal to. So that would be 1 mole of NO2. We're still in NO2. We haven't converted it to nitrogen. Okay, so in here, that we convert it when we do mole ratio. And if you guys look at here, you see how it's mole ratio? That's next. So it will be moles of NO2. Okay, and again, you have to look moles of NO2. And so you see how this was in the bottom, moles of NO2? That means the mole ratio, just the way it looks, you put it in here. So it will be 1 mole of N2 and then 2 moles of NO2. So this is canceled. Okay, so now this is moles of N2, so that means this is moles of N2. Okay, we already did mole ratio, so the only thing that is left out is our grams of N2. So remember that molar mass equals 1 mole. So that will be 1 mole. And you could always check, you see how it's 1 mole equals the molar mass. You see how the molar mass goes on the top? So it would be 28.014 grams of N2. So you are left with grams of N2. So first now we have to calculate it. You've got to multiply the top, multiply, multiply, multiply. So it will be 56.0, okay, times 1 times 1 times 28.014. That equals to 1568.784. And then 46, and then you do the bottom one as well. 46.005 times 2 times 1. And that equals to 92.01. So now we clear that out, and then 1568.784 divided by 92.01 equals, and we don't have to write the whole number, so it's 17.07.17 point, and we don't have to write the whole thing. So I'm thinking, since we'll go ahead and put 17.1. Why are we putting a 1? Because next to it it's 5 or more. So that will be 17.1. And of course, it's grams of N2. So that's a wrap, you guys. We already did this one, and we are done.